Imagine standing on the stage of America's Got Talent, the lights blazing down the crowd, roaring in excitement. Every eye is locked on you, but the one that matters most belongs to Simon Cowell, the toughest judge in the room, a man known for holding back his praise. He doesn't clap, but with a sparkle in his eyes and a subtle nod, you can feel his admiration. That was the unforgettable moment for Courtney Hadwin, just 13 years old, when her raw, powerful voice shook the stage. She wasn't simply performing, she was inspiring, shattering age barriers and unveiling a rare musical soul that captivated an entire nation. Simon Cowell, with his sharp instinct for talent, immediately recognized Courtney's incredible potential and was ready to launch her into a professional music career under a major record label. Everything appeared perfectly aligned for her to rise as the next big star in the music industry. Yet to everyone's surprise, her journey didn't unfold as smoothly as expected. The fame, the buzz, and the thunderous applause that once followed her began to slowly fade away. So what really caused this gifted young singer's path to take such an unexpected turn? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next amazing stories, and leave a comment with 1 if you resonate with these young stars, or 0 if you see things differently. Now let's dive deeper and uncover the truth behind her story. The songs she sang were more than just an outlet for her emotions. They became a steadily growing passion within her. As she got older, Courtney explored musical theater and began to discover her own voice through covers of well-known artists. Step by step, she came to realize that music wasn't just a pastime, but the path she truly wanted to follow. Still, it wasn't until she saw Connie Talbot perform on Britain's Got Talent that her dream of singing fully came alive. Watching Connie, she realized this was her chance to share her gift with the world. From that moment on, her desire to stand on a bigger stage and express herself through music only grew stronger. Connie Talbot became a powerful source of inspiration for Courtney, sparking her belief in her own abilities and giving her the courage to chase her dream with determination. Courtney recalls that she began singing the right way around the age of 9 or 10, which was when music truly captured her heart. But her journey didn't stop there. At just 11, while attending Hesleden Primary School and newly enrolled at Shotton Hall Academy, she was given a meaningful chance to showcase her talent. During a lunchtime open mic concert, she chose to perform "Say Something" by A Great Big World and Christina Aguilera. The song's emotional depth gave her the perfect space to pour out the sincerity in her voice. That performance was more than just a moment to shine. It became the first real turning point that set her on the path toward the professional music career she had always dreamed of. Simon Cowell has always claimed that he never cries. Known as a tough figure, he built stars, crushed dreams, and did it all without flinching. He consistently kept a calm, composed exterior, rarely revealing his emotions in either his professional or personal life. But everything shifted the moment he first heard Courtney Hadwin sing. Her performance moved Simon so deeply that he nearly shed tears, something almost no one could have imagined from him. While Courtney's journey might look simple from the outside, the truth was far from it. That young girl not only carried natural talent, but also endured heavy challenges and the weight of expectations she never saw coming. And the pivotal moment that changed everything began with America's Got Talent. Before diving into Courtney's story on America's Got Talent, it's important to take a step back and see the journey that led her there. Born on July 6, 2004, in Hesleden, a small village near Hartlepool in County Durham, northeast England, Courtney grew up in a warm and supportive family with her parents, Paul and Anne-Marie, and her 2 siblings, Paul and Melissa. Surrounded by love, she was encouraged to explore her interests, and it was during these early years that her gift for singing quietly began to show. Not everyone recognized her talent right away, and her first steps into music were far from easy, but those experiences prepared her for the challenges ahead. Like many young singers, music became an inseparable part of Courtney's life from childhood. She began singing at home where simple melodies brought her joy and slowly revealed the spark of passion that would one day take her to the world stage. A video of that performance was posted on Facebook and quickly went viral within the local community. Courtney's classmates were amazed by her incredible voice, and they did not hesitate to express their admiration for her musical talent. Immediately, they encouraged her to continue exploring and developing her singing abilities. Feeling deeply supported and motivated by her friends, Courtney decided to take their advice seriously. Fueled by her intense love for music and passion for songwriting, she began embarking on the musical path she had always yearned for. This was the very first step in Courtney's promising musical journey, a time when she not only found her own voice, but also started to lay the foundation for a potentially successful career. Courtney's grandfather later shared that she began performing at local venues from a very young age, aiming to earn money to pay for singing lessons and cover family travel expenses. Although the earnings from these performances were modest, they were crucial first steps that allowed Courtney to continue pursuing her passion for music. Performing on small stages helped her not only hone her skills, but also build a foundation for future musical opportunities. During these years, Courtney worked tirelessly to participate in courses at local music academies. The places where she studied and developed her musical talent included Shotton Hall Theatre School Peanuts Master Classes, Kate Sears Music School, and Julie Miles Vocal Ovation. But Courtney's journey didn't stop there. In 2016, she took another bold step by auditioning for Open Mic UK with a moving performance of Nothing Compares to You. This moment was more than just another competition. It was a chance for her to establish herself on the local music scene and prove once again that she was far from an ordinary talent. That same summer, her growing reputation earned her an invitation to open for the legendary group Sister Sledge at the South Tyneside Festival, where she performed in front of more than 18,000 people. It was a milestone that marked her transition from a locally admired singer to a rising star, gaining recognition from both the public and music industry professionals. For Courtney, it was the beginning of stepping onto bigger stages where her voice could truly shine. The following year, Courtney pushed herself even further by stepping onto yet another stage, The Voice Kids UK. This opportunity gave her the chance to prove her talent and determination before an even wider audience. For her audition, she delivered a fiery, high-energy rendition of Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits, a performance that was both powerful and electrifying. Her bold delivery and fearless stage presence immediately caught the judges' attention, earning her a place on Danny Jones's team. This marked a pivotal moment in her journey, as it showcased not only her remarkable vocal ability, but also her talent for channeling raw emotion and unique charisma every time she stepped onto the stage. Although life presented its share of challenges, Courtney's perseverance and determination kept driving her to improve her singing skills. But it wasn't until 2015, when she entered Teen Star UK in Newcastle, that she experienced her first major breakthrough in music competitions. This event marked a true turning point in her young career, giving her a platform where her voice could be recognized beyond her immediate community. Despite her age, Courtney impressed both the audience and judges with her talent and commitment, earning recognition that not only validated her efforts, but also opened doors for future opportunities. It was here that she began carving out her identity as a rising artist, laying the groundwork for the broader musical journey that awaited her. At Teen Star UK, Courtney advanced to the finals with a moving and heartfelt performance of Bob Dylan's "Make You Feel My Love." Her rendition left a deep impression on both the judges and the audience, instantly highlighting her as a young artist with a rare and distinctive voice. With her emotional depth and powerful delivery, she not only captivated listeners, but also caught the attention of industry professionals who saw great promise in her talent. Building on this momentum, Courtney's career continued to rise. Just a year later, at only 12 years old, she won the Hartlepool Performer of the Year award and became a finalist at the Beyond the Lights Awards. These accomplishments were more than just accolades. They marked important milestones that strengthened her confidence and laid a solid foundation for even greater achievements in her musical journey. She kept building momentum with her standout performance of Dancing in the Street in the Battle Round, where she demonstrated her versatility and ability to effortlessly shift between musical styles, an approach that quickly won over the judges. Moving forward, she secured her place in the semi-finals with a vibrant and high-energy rendition of James Brown's "I Got You, I Feel Good," thrilling both the audience and the panel with her infectious enthusiasm and unique stage presence. The pinnacle of her journey came on the final night when Courtney delivered a powerhouse performance of Jennifer Hudson's iconic "And I Am Telling You I'm Not Going." With that breathtaking rendition, she not only closed the competition with brilliance, but also claimed the grand prize, solidifying her status as more than just an extraordinary talent. She had proven herself to be a rising star, destined for even greater stages. From her earliest years, Courtney steadily built a reputation grounded in relentless discipline and effort. By the age of 11, she had already committed herself to daily vocal training, a routine she carried into her teenage years with unwavering determination. She recognized early on that true growth in music required more than talent. It demanded consistent practice, hard work, and focus. Beyond her solo practice, Courtney treated every lesson and rehearsal with deep seriousness and persistence, always striving to push herself further. This dedication not only sharpened her vocal technique but also strengthened her confidence on stage. Those formative years forged not just a remarkable voice, but also a resilient spirit, laying the foundation for her to overcome challenges and pursue a lasting career in music. Even as Courtney's world expanded with television appearances, recording deals, and international recognition, her family remained the steady center of her life. Amid the whirlwind of fame and shifting expectations, they were her anchor, her constant source of strength, comfort, and unwavering support. Courtney has always credited them with keeping her grounded, reminding her of who she is beyond the bright lights and applause. They instilled in her the values of simplicity, authenticity, and love lessons rooted in her small hometown and carried with her onto the biggest stages. While fame can be fleeting, her family reminded her that the love and support of those closest to her are lasting treasures. Because of them, Courtney has never lost her way, no matter how far her journey in music has taken her. Courtney's strongest foundation was never the applause of strangers or the glow of trophies, but the unwavering faith her family placed in her. No matter how loud the outside world became, her heart always stayed rooted in Hesleden, the quiet village that shaped her values and grounded her spirit. That unshakable bond with her family gave her balance, reminding her that true worth isn't defined by fame, but by authenticity and love. With every milestone, her family stood firmly behind her, ensuring she never lost herself in the chaos of the music world. It was this strength that carried her forward, and by early 2018, Courtney had built enough momentum to be invited to audition for the 13th season of America's Got Talent. This opportunity marked a defining moment, one that would open new doors and propel her from a local rising star to an artist stepping onto the world stage. Those formative years, rooted in Courtney's small hometown village, were further strengthened through countless open mic nights, music competitions, and live performances across northern England. These local stages became more than just places for her to showcase her talent. They were vital classrooms where she learned how to engage with audiences, develop her unique performance style, and connect deeply with listeners. Every show was a lesson, and every competition offered an opportunity for Courtney to challenge herself and push beyond her limits. These moments not only nurtured her artistic growth, but also solidified her unwavering determination to succeed. It was on those very nights that Courtney began to craft her distinctive style, gradually becoming a familiar and respected figure throughout northern England, admired for her persistence and her unbreakable spirit. A vital part of Courtney's journey has always been the unwavering support of her family, who stood by her every step of the way. From the start, their encouragement gave her the strength to dream big and pursue her passion for music. Her mother quickly recognized Courtney's extraordinary potential, often remarking that her performances went far beyond what anyone could expect from someone her age. Her father, determined to see her succeed, worked extra jobs, delivering pizzas and covering travel costs so she could attend auditions and performances across the Northeast. Their sacrifices didn't stop there. When Courtney advanced to The Voice Kids UK and later America's Got Talent, the family even relocated to Los Angeles, ensuring she had the stability she needed during such demanding times. Her father often commuted between work and family responsibilities, making sure Courtney could balance both her education and her blossoming music career. The invitation to America's Got Talent didn't come from a family plan or a carefully mapped-out career move. It was reportedly sparked by producers searching the globe for fresh talent. For Courtney, the timing was perfect. AGT provided the kind of stage that could showcase her extraordinary gift to the world. Still, no one, not even Courtney herself, could have predicted how profoundly it would change her life. At just 13, she walked onto that massive stage as a shy schoolgirl from County Durham, England, nervous, reserved, and far removed from the image of a polished star. But the moment she began singing Otis Redding's Hard to Handle, everything transformed. Her voice, husky, raw, and astonishingly powerful for her age, commanded the room, silencing doubts and electrifying the audience. It was the instant the world realized that Courtney Hadwin was anything but ordinary. As the music surged through the arena, the timid, uneasy schoolgirl who had first walked on stage was gone. In her place stood a transformed Courtney, radiant, with energy, fearless, and utterly in control. Her voice, rich with power and emotion, filled every corner of the room, commanding attention with every note. The shy demeanor melted away, replaced by a performer who seemed born for the spotlight. The audience erupted in cheers, stunned by the sheer force of her talent. The same question echoed through the crowd and among the judges: how could someone so young carry a voice with such depth and maturity? In that unforgettable moment, Courtney shed the image of a clumsy schoolgirl and emerged as a true rising star, astonishing everyone with her extraordinary gift. After her run on America's Got Talent, Courtney returned in 2019 to compete in AGT The Champions, but by then her career path had already begun to evolve. Although she didn't receive Simon's golden buzzer this time, he still had something far more impactful in store for her. Shortly after the 2018 season ended, Simon signed Courtney to Psycho Music in partnership with Arista, officially launching her into the world of international stardom at just 13 years old. This was a monumental step in her journey, proving she had what it took to stand among global artists. However, the road to fame and recognition turned out to be far more challenging than it first appeared. Then December came, bringing with it a life-changing opportunity for Courtney. At only 14 years old, she signed a long-term recording contract with Psycho Music in partnership with Arista Records. This milestone didn't just open a new chapter in her journey, it marked her evolution from a promising young talent discovered on a major music competition into an official music star backed by one of the industry's most influential labels. In interviews following the announcement, Courtney expressed how incredible it felt to join the company. She also acknowledged that this moment was not only a thrilling turning point, but a demanding one requiring her to work harder than ever, not just to meet, but to rise above the ever-growing expectations of the public and the music industry. Share your thoughts in the comments about this major turning point in Courtney's life. How do you think she'll rise to the challenges and shine on this exciting new journey? And don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss more inspiring stories. Even Simon Cowell, usually known for his cold demeanor and unshakable composure, couldn't resist Courtney's powerful presence. As he sat in silence, his typically stern expression began to soften, and words of praise flowed from his lips. "You came out shy, but when you sing, you're like a lion." This was more than just a compliment. It was a striking acknowledgement of her raw talent. Howie Mandel, unable to ignore the magic of the moment, reacted first and hit the golden buzzer. That single decision not only secured Courtney's place in the live performance rounds, but also opened a major door for her career. This was far more than a TV show triumph. It was a defining moment that brought Courtney one step closer to her dream of becoming a true music star on the world stage. Crazy, right? By the time the quarterfinals aired, fans everywhere were calling her a once-in-a-generation talent, even a phenomenon. Singers like her only come around once in a lifetime, and we're truly lucky to witness Courtney. She advanced through the quarterfinals and semifinals, delivering explosive performances each time that blurred the line between a young soul artist and a seasoned veteran. By the finals, Courtney had gained a massive worldwide fan base, but ultimately the crown wasn't hers. She finished 6th overall, a result that surprised many. Still, AGT was a huge breakthrough for her, introducing her to American audiences and giving her a global platform to build on. And now Courtney suddenly had to face the massive expectations of the music industry, demanding that she release hit songs, attend interviews, and take part in promotions inside a machine designed for adults. At just 14, she wasn't prepared for such a hectic and stressful lifestyle. How could she possibly handle it all? Behind the scenes of that season, Courtney opened up about the growing pressure she was under. She had to perform non-stop complete shows and bring her energy not just once, but week after week. These demands and expectations made her feel as if she were standing in the eye of a storm, unsure how long she could endure it. And yet her determination kept her moving forward despite the overwhelming challenges. Although Howie Mandel's support helped her stay strong, his encouragement fueling her passion, the weight of anxiety was always close behind, ready to consume her. Off-camera record executives began shaping Courtney not just as a singer, but as a brand. They weren't only promoting her music, they were carefully crafting her image and stage persona to fit an idealized mold. Being compared to Janis Joplin was flattering, yet it quickly became a double-edged sword. The comparison carried expectations that confined her, pushing her into a narrow box. Courtney found herself torn between the artist she truly wanted to be and the image others demanded she embody. The more they tried to mold her, the more she questioned whether she could remain authentic while being pressured to chase a label that didn't quite feel like her own. She had to split her time between England and the US, recording original songs, filming commercials, and preparing for constant media appearances. For a teenager still living under her parents' roof, the demands were overwhelming. What looked like a dream from the outside often felt surreal and isolating on the inside. While YouTube comments and fan messages praised her raw energy, Courtney was quietly grappling with the unsettling feeling that she was losing control of her own career. Still, the acclaim poured in. Critics highlighted her powerful, energy-commanding stage presence and a voice that seemed far beyond her years. Producers hailed her as a force of nature, and publications like Rolling Stone described her as arriving like a storm. Yet in her private reflections, Courtney confessed that even while performing her own original songs, she sometimes felt less like an artist and more like a character being directed, struggling to hold on to her true self. Don't get me wrong, she still found joy in life and appreciated everything she had earned through hard work, along with the incredible opportunities it brought her. But it all came crashing down too fast, too soon. From the moment Courtney signed with Psycho Arista, her world turned into a whirlwind of chaos. Practically overnight, her days were filled with strict deadlines, endless meetings, and non-stop recording sessions. Instead of making music on her own terms, she was caught in a machine designed to churn out hits. For Courtney, who valued the freedom to express herself and cherished even the smallest moments of creative control, this lifestyle became unbearably heavy. And let's not forget, she was only 14, constantly expected to deliver polished pop soul tracks on demand, as if she were already a fully seasoned star. At just 14, Courtney was thrust into the professional music world, sitting in recording sessions with songwriting teams, producers, and seasoned industry managers. Their shared mission was clear: to mold her sound into the perfect mix of upbeat pop and soulful depth, something unique enough to stand out, yet polished enough to sell. But while they focused on crafting a marketable image, Courtney was still searching for her true voice, not only in the literal sense, but also in how she wanted to express herself as an artist. She was in the middle of a personal journey, experimenting, learning, and adjusting, all while the weight of industry expectations pressed heavily on her shoulders. Looking back, Courtney admitted she often felt overwhelmed and conflicted when everyone around me kept telling me how I should sing, who I should be, leaving her with little control over her own direction. Instead of enjoying the freedom and self-discovery most teenagers experience, her days were consumed by recording sessions and packed schedules dictated largely by others' expectations. While there were sparks of joy in pursuing her passion for music, they were frequently overshadowed by exhaustion, frustration, and a sense of isolation. The inability to fully express herself the way she longed to left a lasting imprint on her growth, not only as an artist, but also as a young woman trying to find her place in the world. A typical day for Courtney could begin with breakfast in England, followed by a midday meeting with record label executives, and end with a flight to the US for late-night studio sessions. Once there, she often found herself surrounded by multiple producers, pitching beats, melodies, and themes she didn't feel connected to. Reflecting on that time, she recalled everyone around me kept telling me who I should be. That pressure was just one part of a bigger problem. Her own creative vision was often drowned out by the louder voices of the industry. Working with songwriting and production teams, Courtney began to feel detached from the very songs she was recording. In later interviews, she openly expressed frustration with being boxed into a formula, emotions stripped away, her style diluted, and slick pop production that clashed with the raw, raspy voice that first made her unforgettable. Simon's silence doesn't necessarily feel like closure. Instead, there's a quiet hope that lingers in the way Courtney's fans hold on to her legacy. They keep her spirit alive by sharing her old performances, writing heartfelt tributes, and even covering her songs. To them, it's as if she's still here, still recording, still just one step away from delivering something extraordinary. And maybe it's not simply wishful thinking. If Courtney's journey has taught us anything, it's that being unforgettable doesn't require permission. All it takes is a moment, a song, and a voice powerful enough to leave its mark forever. From the outside, things may have appeared more personal and intimate than they actually were. Many assumed Simon acted as Courtney's mentor, guiding and supporting her closely throughout her journey. But the reality was very different. Simon never filled that role. He was the CEO, the one who spotted her talent and chose to sign her. From the contract to placing her into the industry machine, his involvement was largely strategic. He focused on major business decisions and the broader vision of talent development, not on offering Courtney the personal guidance, emotional support, or day-to-day mentorship people often imagined. Simon was also the company's representative at public events, responsible for announcing and introducing Courtney to the public and media. He played an important role in shaping her image and guiding her career direction. However, after completing that task, he left Courtney to continue on her own, standing firmly on her own 2 feet, without deep interference in her personal life or emotional matters. This might lead many outsiders to misunderstand and think Simon was indifferent or uncaring, but in reality, you can't blame him. Simon's primary job was to discover and develop talent, creating opportunities for artists to grow their careers, not to directly handle the emotional consequences, pressures, or psychological difficulties that young artists might face on their journey. That work requires psychological experts or dedicated mentors, not a CEO. Everything began slowly, almost unnoticed, until fans started picking up on clear signs of change in Courtney's life. Her once active social media feeds grew quiet, with fewer and fewer posts leaving her followers confused. Soon after, her presence in mainstream media also dwindled, as if she were intentionally stepping back from the spotlight. This silence left fans anxious, wondering what had happened. Had tensions grown between her and the creative team? Was she facing health struggles, or something worse? The lack of any updates from Courtney or her representatives only deepened the uncertainty, fueling even more concern among her supporters. Courtney eventually gave glimpses of what she had been working on, songs with an angry and authentic edge, carrying lyrics like, "You only want me when I'm smiling," a raw reflection of deeper emotions. She hinted at hidden layers of pain, honesty, and sincerity waiting to break free. But as speculation swirled, fans were left yearning for answers. What had happened to the fearless young girl who once lit up the stage? Silence became the only response. The years slipped by quietly. While the industry kept churning and moving forward, Courtney remained distant. Simon shifted his focus to the next season, searching for new stars. And just like that, his connection with Courtney faded. What began as a collaboration slowly turned into a transaction until it disappeared altogether, leaving only echoes of what might have been. Although Courtney never openly expressed bitterness or resentment towards Simon fans, and observers often speculated that she might secretly hold some ill feelings toward him. From an objective standpoint, however, it was Simon who encouraged her to sign with the record label, ultimately giving her access to the professional music world. Even at a young age, Courtney seemed to recognize the complexity of the industry, understanding that Simon was just one link in the larger machine, not a soulmate or a true mentor walking beside her through life's highs and lows. Looking back, the absence of someone who genuinely cared for and guided her carried a much deeper weight. Courtney was no longer treated as a young artist in need of nurturing and holistic development. Instead, she was gradually shaped into a product managed and controlled to serve the company's commercial goals. This inevitably took a toll on both her life and career. Over time, her presence on social media steadily declined, signaling not only her exhaustion and retreat from the online spotlight, but also the immense pressure and limitations she was facing during that chapter of her journey. On her independent journey, Courtney found a powerful creative ally in Grammy-winning producer Kevin Bowe, a respected figure known for his work with legends like Etta James and Joe Cocker. Their collaboration opened a wide creative space where Courtney could finally write and record music that truly reflected her personal style and raw emotions. These songs weren't crafted to meet radio formulas or market demands. They were born from her own stories and experiences, carried straight from the heart. This shift marked a defining difference in her music, signaling not just a comeback, but a rebirth as a true artist, creating not for fame, but out of passion, honesty, and a deep sense of self. Now, in her 20s, Courtney has spoken openly about the emotional wounds of becoming famous too young, mentioning exhaustion, loss of control, and the relentless pressure to perform before she was truly ready. She recalled the struggle of losing herself under industry expectations and how finding her voice again felt like reclaiming her strength. Today, her presence on stage is guided by her own rules, with songs etched with scars and determination. The era of applause has passed. Now she seeks connection and the feeling of being truly seen. And as for Simon, he still remembers the 13-year-old girl who first caught his attention years ago. Recently, a wave of viral clips and trending retrospectives sparked a striking idea that he may have finally broken the long silence surrounding Courtney's career. This shift leaves fans curious about whether their stories will one day reconnect in an unexpected way. Meanwhile, Simon returned to his familiar role as judge executive and creator of new stars. He continued to appear on television stages and at high-profile events, focusing on discovering fresh talent and promoting upcoming shows, never once acknowledging the chaos and struggles Courtney had endured along her journey. He made no remarks about how the machinery of the music industry might have shaken her or even caused lasting harm. Instead, all of his attention centered on new auditions, the next competitions, and producing the next generation of stars, as if Courtney's story had never existed or wasn't worth mentioning. To many observers, this silence spoke louder than words, reflecting how easily one artist's pain can be overshadowed by the relentless drive for the next big success. Although life in a major company wasn't nearly as glamorous as it seemed, Courtney held tightly to her love for music. Slowly, she began to rebuild her career, writing, recording, and releasing songs that were entirely her own. Simon, on the other hand, only saw her through TV screens and headlines, never truly recognizing the weight she had carried. Critics praised her new voice as raw and powerful, while the narrative surrounding Simon stayed silent. Reclaiming your autonomy when the world seems determined to take it away is nothing short of remarkable. By 2025, Courtney had returned as someone transformed, carrying not just her music, but also the strength of her hard-won independence. According to these viral clips, Simon rarely revealed vulnerability or emotion on camera. To him, feelings seemed like a luxury that didn't match the image of the strong, composed leader he worked so hard to project. Yet in a few rare interview moments, viewers caught him pausing mid-sentence, something almost unheard of, before releasing a heavy sigh, as though carrying a burden he had long tried to ignore. In one such moment, he reportedly uttered the haunting words, "We expected too much too soon." Then, with a softer tone, he added, "She was just a kid. I think we let her down." According to witnesses, his voice cracked as he spoke, stripped of the usual cold calmness that had defined his public persona. Simon's seemingly unshakable composure faltered as long-suppressed emotions suddenly poured out more clearly and genuinely than ever before. This was a completely different image from the stern, composed judge millions had known through television and media. Although no reputable journalist or mainstream media outlet has officially recorded or confirmed these statements, yet there is no doubt that Simon is very aware of the new path Courtney is taking in her career. This change seems to have prompted him to reflect and confront responsibilities and expectations he had never deeply acknowledged before. Where is she now? Courtney is no longer the young girl who poured her heart out on America's Got Talent. She has grown into a true artist. Back in England, she balances her personal life with her musical ambitions, family, and authenticity. She still calls County Durham home, having moved there a few years ago to regain her independence after leaving her label. Although Courtney's fan base stretches across the globe, her heart remains rooted in the northeast of England, where she is said to still share a base with a small but devoted football team, drawing strength from her local roots. She also stays connected with friends from her early training days in Hesleden and Peterlee. Today, her life reflects a harmony between global recognition and the quiet strength of her hometown ties. Earlier this year, during a live stream, she spoke openly about the challenges of social media, admitting that TikTok can feel overwhelming at times, while YouTube remains a space where she can share her music and life without pressure. She regularly hosts Q&A sessions on Instagram stories and responds to fan comments with heartfelt gratitude. Courtney also speaks candidly about her mental health journey, helping normalize therapy and self-reflection in a way many young artists are still hesitant to do. Her posts often focus on growth, setting boundaries, and practicing self-care. In one interview, she shared her excitement about finishing her album not by chasing perfection, but by making sure the process feels authentic rather than staged. More than ever, her openness has strengthened her bond with fans who see not just an artist, but a young woman growing alongside them. However, if we take Simon's heartfelt words as true, picture him quietly sitting and reflecting on Courtney's youth beneath the dazzling yet pressure-filled stage lights. In his mind, the image of her first audition resurfaces when she unleashed a raw, fierce energy so powerful that he called her a lion, a symbol of strength and resilience. Yet he cannot forget how that flame was quickly smothered as others tried to mold her into a predefined image. Simon vividly recalls how the relentless, grueling schedule replaced the creative freedom she once longed for, and how fame gradually pulled her further away from her true self. In those quiet moments, he is left wondering whether the industry's hunger for success came at the cost of Courtney's spirit. In early 2025, Courtney signed with a new management team, Total Artist Management, led by Oliver Mojeda, after parting ways with MNTUS due to creative differences that had caused missed opportunities. With her current team, she has planned performances across the UK, Europe, and the US. She has already performed at venues like Fiddler's Elbow in London and is preparing for larger tours. A standout moment in her career came in April 2024 when she performed at Carnegie Hall, personally selected by Clive Davis, to open a gala event delivering a heartfelt tribute to Janis Joplin before an audience of industry legends. That performance garnered widespread acclaim and was celebrated as a milestone in Courtney's growing artistic respect. Today, she leads a life grounded in both creative work and personal growth, steadily forging her path as a true artist. Perhaps in that poignant moment, Simon realized that whether intentionally or not, he had thrust a young girl into a vast, cold industry machine far bigger than she could handle. Meanwhile, Courtney began the painstaking process of rebuilding herself with resilience, independence, and determination. She left her record label, collaborated with producer Kevin Bowe, and released music that reflected her truest self. Songs like You Only Love Me, When I Lie, and Monsters Go Beyond Mere Tracks. They are courageous autobiographical confessions. They shatter expectations and rigid industry frameworks, revealing raw truths and genuine emotions she had long been forced to conceal. Whether or not we ever get to hear that voice live again, what Courtney has created is truly rare and incredibly special. Her voice is etched into our memories, a mark that will never fade. Her story may still be unfolding, but her music will continue to resonate in everyone's hearts. So what do you love most about Courtney? Her voice, her style, or the story behind her music? Leave a comment with 1 if you connect with Courtney Hadwin, or 0 if you see things differently. Don't forget to share your thoughts below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and hit subscribe so you won't miss more inspiring stories like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.